And we are live. We're today with first timer the Walrus Jedi,
Hello.
and we are discussing my journey through the New Jedi Order, the Enemy Lines Duology. So first things first, Walrus, what did you think of these books?
I thought they were pretty enjoyable, like most of Aaron Alston's stuff and the rest of NJO.
Yeah, like some of NJO has been all right, some of it has been like great.
hmm
So far, nothing has been bad, thank which has been wonderful, thankfully.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So we're gonna start with. Hold on one second. Gotta check my notes. Rebel Dream, and it's 1 month before the Battle of Borlias.
hmm
For those who don't know, obviously Borlias is I guess you could say, a stepping stone into the core world. And in this particular chapter, the combined squadrons of like Wedge Antilles, Luke Skywalker, like the Twin Suns Squadron, the Rogue Squadron, like they all come in and basically like liberate it from the Vong because they're trying to hold a staging ground. And there's some Vong there that are arguing about who's braver, one of the gods or Yuzan Vong. I thought that was a little funny exchange.
hmm
And in during their flight, Wedge is on the Mon Mothma, and Luke senses the concept of revenge in his squadron, and he basically worries that like it's that same thing for like every teacher where they worry that whether or not their students are going to go down the right path
hmm
because like they just lost Coruscant because this I'd say this one's roughly roughly around the same time as uh, Dark Journey, right? If I recall.
Yeah.
So yeah, the wounds of loss are still fresh, and a lot of the Jedi are angry that it got pushed back. So obviously they have a big battle, uh, and it ends up Luke has to tell his squad to fall back, so the Mon Mothma can take out some Dovin Basils and Coral Skippers, because again they're trying to recapture Borlias as a staging ground.
hmm
And then Ninora Burt's ship, the Record Time, comes in, and let's see, Luke and Mara and Corrin fly together. Luke and Mara banter a bit, which I expect that from the husband and wife duo.
hmm
And then Lando shows up aboard the Record Time with like some of
His
the foot
droids.
soldiers and the YVH droids,
Yeah.
and trying to take Borlias on the ground. And I forgot about this part. This is awesome. There's to see in the book there to read in the book. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, this is it's like I think I was either watching Band of Brothers or The Pacific roughly around the time, uh, and so I already got a general idea of like messed up combat, how the battle could have gone.
hmm
You can imagine Lando in like commando gear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
See, YV Droid Hunters broadcast Vong language were machines, and we are greater than the use. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
hmm
they purposely made they purposely made the Vong angry
hmm
by using the YVH hunters to taunt them to claim they're superior. Which, God, there's a lot of moments in this novel I forgot that I absolutely love. Thank God I took notes.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Well, wonder what happened. We're here to discuss these books, and I'm just filling time till he comes back. Hopefully that's soon. But yeah. But yeah, this book was pretty good. Good beginning to the taking of Borlius as a staging ground for. Oh, he's back. Great.
Sorry about that. My stream kicked me.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing this on my phone, so it's not going to be perfect.
Okay.
I keep checking my notes, which is in another app, so I'm like, I got to keep going back and forth real quick.
Okay.
But where did you lose me?
We were just after Lando and his droids.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he blows up the beast. Like I said, I forgot the name of the beast. I'll check my notes because I think they have it later on in the second book. But
Yes.
basically, Wedge turns Borlius into like a forward operating base, like he was planning to from the start, and he leaves the bodies out for any Yuzon Vong to collect, which is surprisingly gracious of him, considering like how little they've gotten respect from the Vong. So
Yeah.
Wedge briefs everybody, worries about his wife and daughters, which makes sense because he wonders if they even got off Coruscant. I forgot about that. Yeah, he was terrified. He didn't know if Ayala and his daughters made it off.
Yeah.
So he's other than like running an entire resistance force against the Yuzon Vong. On top of that, he has to worry about. I don't even know if my family's alive. War's really testing them. So yeah. Then see, Luke is basically what you call indispensable. Like as far as like operations go, and then Mara takes an intelligence job because she does not want to leave Ben.
Yep.
She left him once in like the care of Leia. Obviously, she doesn't blame Leia, but at the same time, after what Vicky Shesh did, like she's hesitant to leave her kid alone. Which again, she's a mother, recent born.
It makes sense.
Yeah. And so the scene shifts to Vicky Sesh on Coruscant with Sabong Law. And initially it seems like he's going to execute her because he's like, you've outlived your usefulness. We don't need you anymore. And then she basically, let's see here. Anyway, she impresses him because I think the previous books was already kind of establishing this. That hang on a sec. Anyway, I think the previous books were already kind of establishing this the fact that I'm trying to figure out how to access comments. There we go. Anyway, like it was already pretty much shoot, what's the thing I'm looking for? It was established that his implant limbs were failing. because he got like a claw arm and a couple extra other arms.
Yeah.
So like naturally his implant limbs are failing. So it's like yeah. So and so she implies that the Shapers are to blame,
Mm-hmm.
which kind of gives him pause to kill her. He's like, wait a minute, she could be onto something here. Okay, baby, you can still be of use. I won't execute you.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Wedge gets a message from the advisory council. Oh boy. Worst Phalia's leftovers.
Yeah.
And it's the current de facto leader is that Horan Pwo, I believe his name is.
Yeah. The
And he's
Quarren.
basically saying, you guys need to hold Borleus, and I cannot give you like any sort of supports.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, now you need to turn over command of your forces to us.
Yep.
And Wedge literally says, yeah, no thanks.
Mm-hmm.
And he negotiates terms with the advisory council. The advisory council are cowards who think Borleus will fall, Wedge will die. They agree to the terms. And thus, a new rebel alliance is born. Because apparently the New Republic official government is basically dead at this point. Because the advisory council has already given up to the Vong. They're just stalling for time until they can prepare the proper way to say, "Oh yeah, we surrender."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so at this point, they're a little more than like Peace Brigade cowards.
Pretty much.
So Luke thinks about his. So now it shifts to Luke and all of his meetings. Let's see. He has a forced vision about Dagobah and Coruscant covered in darkness. Now, this is obviously kind of meant to set the stage for what happens in Rebel Stand, as well as just the fate of Coruscant in general.
Yep.
Mara wakes him up holding a crying Ben because he's thrashing in his sleep, and that obviously freaks his kid out because his kid is force sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact of the matter is, like, this kind of just reminds me of the fact, like, how vulnerable Anakin Solo was. Why Han and Leia didn't want him around negative emotion growing up. When Winter and I forgot the name of that droid that was protecting him. But Winter and the nanny droid literally had him stashed away, I think, on New Alderaan. And so, like, for the first couple of years, like, they couldn't even be around their own kids because the kids can't be around any sort of negative emotion because it might affect their connection to the Force, or not their connection, but their emotions in the light or dark side. Excuse me, I need some more water. But yeah, do you have anything to say about this sort of thing so far? Any personal?
Not yet. So far, so good.
I try to cover as many important moments of the novels as I can.
Mm-hmm.
So that when we get to the meatier stuff, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I want to talk about that. So,
yeah.
Roland Tassar, historian, gives a briefing on the changes of Coruscant. In his Holocan man, Tam Elgrin, barely get out alive. Tam was sick for days. Yeah, this is... And I feel like they were trying to go somewhere with Tam Elgrin, but they didn't really do much with him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they do stuff with him, but it's like it feels like he could have been more.
Yeah.
See, they agree to stay at Borlius to chronicle this history. Tim leaves the crowd, runs into Danny Quee, and obviously he's a little smitten with her.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. And then it's basically he's revealed to be an agent of Vicky Shesh under Vong Thrall. So he's basically a Vong spy. Which I thought was the more interesting aspect about him.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the part I absolutely loved. Garrick Face Loran of the Wraiths shows up.
Mm-hmm.
And like straight up he's like, "Oh, hey Wedge, how's it going?"
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, I ran into somebody," and he brings his wife and kids. So it was obviously a load off of Wedge's mind from that point.
Mm-hmm.
But it was good to see Face again. Was one of the favorites from the Wraiths that I remember.
Yeah, he's one of the more memorable ones.
Yeah. Like, obviously, I remember his best friend a bit more because of the way he died, but, like, yeah, so, let's see. They all brought up to speed. Vicky tells Tim to infiltrate to their friend Danny Quee, become her lover, blah, blah. Vicky is bored, wants to learn about how Vong things grow. Sabong Law grants her request, questions a priest about his rejected arm. Starts to think Beaky may be onto something. Yeah, so she planted the seed of suspicion in him, so now he's like, hey, like maybe she has a point.
Mm-hmm.
He's like basically like he's like because she's treacherous, she knows how the treacherous would work. And so to Savong Law, he's like, oh, it takes, a traitor to know a traitor. So maybe she's onto something about the casts, betraying me. So he sends Domain Cha to attack Borleus. Wirpuk Cha is Attalus Cadla deduce potential point at one of Borleus's moons. Wedge's ruse on the moon. So yeah, Wedge had a ruse on the moon. Saba and Danny arguing about a tactic retreat. Feint. The Rogues and Knights. Luke is concerned with Mara not being in the unit. Yeah, oh, that's right, because Mara wasn't in the unit due to her keeping an eye on Ben. Jade Shadow Bomb Strike. Saba and Danny are forced to retreat from the ruse. Lusankia comes out of hyperspace in the middle of Domain Cha's fleet. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's right. They sent Lusankia. I forgot the captain's name is like Vapid or something like that.
Yeah.
I'll see it later. But like, yeah, basically he's like, oh, we just came out of hyperspace in the middle of the enemy fleet. Battle stations, everyone. So Wedge is like, wow, that was insulting. Well, let's see. Wirpuk Cha shocked at the Lusankia. His bridge destroyed. Wirpuk Cha dies in the cold vacuum. That's right. I forgot about that. He's basically like, why is there an enemy ship in the middle of our formation? And that's like, they blow a hole in his bridge and he dies in the vacuum of space. He's like, see, Wedge and Aiello learn that the Lusankia and the Falcon. Wedge orders Mon Mothma to assist. He orders... Yeah, so he sends the Mon Mothma to assist Lusankia. Orders anyone who can break off from the moon defense to assist. Yeah, that's right. They had like a false moon defense, and it was meant to completely distract. Tycho's quote from Wedge's autobiography: "Wedge Antilles was so good he couldn't fail even if he wanted to." That's right, because the Vong forces didn't break off from the moon, and the whole point of the moon ruse was that it was supposed to fail, like it was, but it still succeeded.
Yeah.
I love that. So Han flies around some insane maneuvers. Raiso and the Limarar on the guns. Luke's squadron's on the way. Victory happens. People are praising Han, obviously, because, General Solo,
Mm-hmm.
Han and Leia still have grief over Anakin and thinking of how Tahiri feels. See, this is like the only reason I know about it is because I know it doesn't get followed up all that much, but I'm genuinely shocked that Han and Leia did not adopt Tahiri.
Yeah.
Like I get what was kind of going on with Tem and Tark and whatnot, but like Tahiri, there was no doubt that Anakin and Tahiri were in love.
Mm-hmm.
So Leia, I get that their grief was still there, but Leia and Han really should have considered adopting her into the family because, like I said, she loved their son. So there's no reason why she should be isolated in any regard.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's just me, but I always felt that was a bit of a. Anything to say about it, or any of the battle?
No, not yet.
Boy, I must not have hit a moment you like yet entirely. So, Insiders Aftermath. Sabong Law says Maul Law to bring someone from his domain to run the Borleus attack. Oh yeah, that's right. Sabong Law begins to distrust the priests and Schaefer, summons for Ninian. Han and Leia basically start resistance duties. Because at this point, Leia's no longer the politician she used to be. She's like, okay, if I'm going to use this whole political guise, I'm going to use it. Basically, I'm going to use it to my advantage because at this point, I'm no longer a politician. I'm a soldier. I'm a pirate lady now, basically, because she's technically on a pirate or smuggler ship now because she's basically taken Chewie's plate in the side, or Chewie's place in the side seat. So, I mean, Han already talked about taking out Chewie's old chair and putting in a smaller one for her that fits her. So, it makes sense. Let's see, Han plans to look for Jason at Coruscant. Leia fears for him. Only Luke can. Yeah. So, Han. That's right. Han initially wanted to go to Coruscant to look for Jason, and Leia's like, "No, if you do that, you're going to die." It's like, let Luke handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Luke is the Jedi Master. If anybody can feel him in the Force, it's Luke. So, yeah, that makes sense. She's like, so she basically tells Han, I need you to help me when we're out collecting favors and whatnot. When we're out, starting resistance cells.
Yeah, this looks so perfect.
Let's see. So Danny and Tem. Danny doesn't like flirting. Tem seems desperate to her. Wedge and Ayla discuss a leak and misdirection with false listing devices. Yeah. So yeah, Wedge and them are basically wise to it, and so they're with their new Rebel alliance. Basically, they're keeping the circle tight. Basically, family and friends only. So I think the only people they have is the only people that literally have the whole truth are Wedge, Ayla, Han, Leia, Luke and Mara, Corrin, Booster, and
Lando.
Lando. I think maybe Lando.
I think
Lando's
Lando,
surprisingly absent from the second book.
Yeah.
I mean, he was probably off doing. I think he had already gone back to like the Jedi base or something in the Maw.
hmm
And the Jedi base isn't really focused on in the Maw because it's all about Borleus. But let's see. So, so the Wraiths basically arrive, or one of them anyway. Luke and Keltainer discuss X-wings, Wraiths, and Tyria Stark and his wife. Because Tyria was one of Luke's students, but she didn't stay at the academy for long and just kind of traveled until she kind of figured out her Force abilities.
hmm
But she's technically a Jedi now, as far as I'm aware. So Luke decides he wants to go to Coruscant. Mara argues with him. She's like, and he basically tells her, kind of puts his foot down, basically tells her, he's like, you can stay with Ben, but that means I'm going to Coruscant alone. And she's like, no, you can't go there alone. I need to be back. And so, like, basically calls her out. It's like, I can't stay here. I've sensed a vision on Coruscant, and there's something I need to solve there. Plus, I need to find my nephew if I can, you know?
hmm
So, let's see, discussion of the information leak. Lando chooses to look into it with the promise of much brandy. Yeah, that makes sense. Luke mentions playing Mission Coruscant. So, Lando is basically going to be the one to drop them in and look into some of the leaks. And I think that's I think after he drops them off on Coruscant, that's like kind of the last we see of him.
I believe so.
For a while. Yeah. And then, so the person that Savang Law is bringing in is none other than his own father, Shulkang Law.
hmm
Shulkang is that old classic warrior. He's like, he's like, you got to understand what's going on. Don't be a fool in battle.
Yeah.
He's one of like those old military commanders where nothing the next generation does is ever good enough unless you show promise to him.
hmm
It's like it's like a World War II. It's like a World War II vet meeting like a Vietnam or Korean War vet or something like that. Like someone who's hardly as far as he's concerned. Like it's like, oh, they were harsher in these ones. These tactics were much harsher than what you're dealing with. So he agrees to assist in Stone in exchange for command, which makes sense. Why did you knock that over?
Sorry.
Oh, she knocked over a thing. No, I didn't know why she knocked it out. That's why I was asking.
But with my elbow on it.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Anyway, so a Corellian captain was betrayed by the Priest Brigade when he learns Han Solo, the Millennium Falcon, or yeah. Falling on board the ship. Twi'lek girl leads the Vong to the Jedi Academy property. Twi'lek girl's surprise is actually a Jedi attack on the. Oh, I remember this part. Yeah. Gavin and Lando joined forces and defeated the Vong, and the supposed Twi'lek, the Corellian captain that was getting betrayed, that was all a ploy to lure some of the Vong in to find out who the leak was.
hmm
And then this is something I was like, okay, you're like underage, and he's like 40 or 50 now, but Alimarar made a pass at Lando. I mean, I get it. He's good looking, he's smooth, but like, jeez. All right. Let's see. Leia wakes up. Han, Jaina is there. Let's see. reunions. Kip much lighter, and then Jag fell. So yeah, they basically Jaina, Kip, and Jag arrive, and like basically Kip's already supposedly past his darkness. Which if you see my previous streams, you know that I don't think Kip needed a redemption arc, but whatever. Anyway, so like they're like seriously, the authors tried really hard to make you dislike Kip Duran. It felt like desperate in my opinion. But anyway, so they arrive. Han greets his family. They I think Wedge is like obviously excited to see his nephew.
Mm-hmm.
Leia's still worried about her relationship with Jaina. Not the dark aspect. Jaina's proposal, Jaina's promotion to head of Twin Suns. Yeah, that's right. So Luke and her basically agree, since Luke is going to Coruscant, that Jaina should be in charge of Twin Suns squadron.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's see here. Kip and Jag join Twin Suns. Savong Law tells Nen Yin that he suspects the Shaper cast, and she offers her assistance to see if they're deceiving him, to see if they're doing anything to like his limbs to make him fit. Because again, the way the Shaper cast control the commander is like, oh, you're not doing what the Shaper cast says. The gods are telling you to do. So naturally, you're out of favor with the gods. So.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Danny and Isla discover Tam is maybe a Vong spy because they find him planting stuff all over the base. Jaina, Kip, and Jag doing target practice. Jaina upset that Jag can't anticipate her move, which makes sense. We're talking about two Jedi that can, like Kip and Jaina, can do like perfect sync because of their force bond connection, but Jag is not necessarily as connected because of not being a force sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
Jaina says Squadron paints their ships uniquely. Jag anticipated that. So yeah, he's already painted his ship.
Mm-hmm.
Mara decides she goes with Luke to Coruscant. Mara Tahiri planting sensors in the jungle. Yeah, so while they were deciding to head to Coruscant, Tahiri decides to go with him, which is cool. And the whole time they're like expecting more Vong attacks, basically, and I think they do. Yeah, they're stalked by Vong and attacked by Gong. They stick stake sensors. The stake sensors that they're sticking in are decoys. The real sensors are burrowing droids. I do love the way Alston does this little detail. How everything Wedge is doing, or has people doing, is a misdirection from what he's actually doing.
Yeah.
And it's what makes it even more interesting is that the audience is the only one that's like in on the joke.
Mm-hmm.
That they're like, because they explain in detail, like the Vong think Wedge is doing this when he's actually doing this. Like the moon attack was supposed to fail, but it still ended up succeeding.
Yeah.
And their Vong are supposed to find the stake sensors, but the burrower droids are the actual sensors. So I'm like, I do love those particular details. Jaina, Kip, Jag get better at shots, getting unpredictable. Jaina senses a distance between her and the boys, goes to check it out, which makes sense. Like, I think they're like still kind of fighting over her affection a little bit.
Yeah.
Even though Kip is like, well, yeah. So like,
this rebellion.
Wrong frigate charge at Coral. Okay, yeah. So Vong frigates drop. Oh yeah, that's right. So the Vong frigates and Kroll skippers charge at Borlius in an attempt to take it, and then they start using, I guess you could say, falling hostages and human shields from like a captured ship. They put them in like these fluid bags to like fall into the atmosphere. So I'm like, oh yeah, so the Vong are, so surprise, surprise, they're fighting dirty.
Yeah.
But to them, it's just more honorable sacrifices to their gods. So it's. So they do rescue some of them, but not as many as they like. And of course, they have to decontaminate them to make and check them over to make sure they don't have any like coral implants. So yeah, they Wedge and Tycho decide that they want to add Jaina to the Insiders. Keep in mind, I think they're the whole thing that they're intending to do is they're intending, from what I recall, they intended to play up for like, shoot, what was the name of the Vong goddess?
The trickster goddess.
Yeah, the tricks. They want to like build up her reputation as like the trickster goddess made flesh. So. So yeah, that's let's see. Chirrut Crawl informs Chelkang Law of the operation. Of Operation Lance. Oh yeah, that's right. So you remember how in The Force Awakens that they had like an actual laser that could travel through hyperspace?
Yes.
And blow up planets. Oh, Alex says, be on in a bit though. I'm going off of memory. Yeah, makes sense. But yeah, so they had that space laser that could split and go into hyperspace. So
yes,
they create these Operation Lance, which is these pipe fighters that are supposed to do that. They're supposed to fire lasers through hyperspace and destroy Vong ships at long distances. So what Disney thinks is literally possible, Wedge thinks is a good feint.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought that was kind of funny. So let's see. Operation Lance. Jaina on detaching. So yeah, Jaina, she's already kind of breaking off relationships because she's assuming basically that she's going to die. Because she lost Anakin, so she's breaking off relationships with anybody and everybody, including her own mother.
Yep.
Jaina and Tahiri argue about who goes to Coruscant with Luke and Mara. Obviously, Tahiri, that's right. So, if I recall correctly, Tahiri kind of like Jaina kind of sees herself in Tahiri a little bit. Because Tahiri's isolated, and she's like, it's like, unlike you, you still have people you can go back to. I don't have that luxury. So like, I can't hold Anakin again. You can still hold the people you care about. Yeah, talk to her mother. Yeah, final conversation. Yeah, Jaina hugs Tahiri despite their distance differences. And then a couple more wraiths get added. We get to see someone named Charlotte, and of course, the guy who, in my opinion, carried the wraiths team through like most of the hard jobs, Root Sabinring, aka Piggy.
Oh yeah,
Piggy is the absolute goat of the wraiths. So the fact that he's helping Jaina, and then when he starts speaking English to Jaina, she's like, "Are you talking like normally? Not like is like because he's like speaking English to her. He's like, yeah, I was an experiment, so I'm a more advanced. I'm basically a more advanced. So yeah, this is where they basically help Wedge and Tycho come up with the plan that Shar and Piggy basically say like, yeah, you need to start acting like Yunharla 24/7.
Yeah.
It's like this is obviously going to earn you some ire, but everybody basically has to treat you like a goddess this entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, they're attempting psychological warfare. They're trying to insult the Vong so they'll get reckless.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's right. So there is one good thing about Kip Duran's reputation. He's known as the Destroyer of Worlds because of the Sun Crusher.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that he's under the goddess Yunharla, which is serving this rebellion, meaning that's like, oh, even the Destroyer of Worlds cowers before Jaina, aka Yunharla, the trickster goddess.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all kinds of fun there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. I forgot about this detail. Jaina requests Jag as a manservant. Like carry her luggage and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I forgot about this. This is so good. She's taking advantage of her situation completely. She's like, okay, yeah, I want him to be my manservant. Jag refuses, and she just Ron would be better. So yeah, obviously Jack says those. He's like, why don't you get the Destroyer of Worlds to carry your bags? Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't help but laugh. These are moments that made me laugh while I was listening to them at work.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope nobody looked at me like I was a maniac, but I'm like listening to this and I'm like chuckle. But yeah, so let's see. Luke and the Wraith plan to drop. Oh yeah, that's right. This is when we get. I'm not sure if he was introduced in the previous, but this is when we get to meet Bindi Drayson. Because Lando drops the Wraiths on Coruscant, and Bindi Drayson has every intention of, the daughter of Admiral Hiram Drayson.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, every intention of staying on Coruscant to sort of mount a guerrilla resistance.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's even possible, on how much how much that they've completely devastated the world. So
I need really some stuff on.
Mara says goodbye to Ben. Yeah, Jaina watching Wedge says goodbye. Miri and Seal, his daughters. Han and 3PO give Sile and Miri a piggyback ride on the Falcon. Jaina and Mara talk. Mara feels helpless about Ben. Jaina leaves. Yeah. So yeah, they have a heart. There's some heart to hearts
Mm-hmm.
that I kind of recall. Jaina, plans to distance herself from everyone and commit suicide, taking up Kip's offer on being his apprentice, Twin Sun Squadron. So yeah, she's distant. It's not just playing the Yunharla role. She actually intends to do a suicide run at some point. Tam reporting to Vicky, planting something in James' fighter. Tam understanding the brain coral and the coral in his brain. So yeah, basically, anytime he doesn't, it's pretty simple. Anytime he doesn't do what the brain coral says, it causes incredible pain. It's like, yeah, by the way, if you want relief from this pain, just do what you can to sabotage the enemy and report things.
Mm-hmm.
Han suggests that Leia become a smuggler. And then while on their way to basically on their way to the Jedi base, the kids get bored.
Yeah.
Jaina and Kip talk about X-Wing designs. Jaina has a Voxen on it to confuse the Vong. Kip's is the sun dying, referring to his Sun Crusher pet. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so this is the first time that like he gets to wear it, and it's not something to be ashamed of.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting turn of events. Let's see. Jaina chooses to be nice to Kip and not to talk about it, not to, push him about the fact that he's got a Sun Crusher. Twin Sun Squadrons escort Star Lancers. Vaughn make no attempt to take them. Tark wants to help Han and Leia since he's not as good as gunner as Sile and Miri. Piggy deduces that it's a trap. Jaina decides to spring it. Twin Sun Squadron is in jeopardy. So yeah, they're trying to take Jaina alive so they can sacrifice her
Mm-hmm.
because she's basically the biggest blasphemer that they have against. So is it?
There's also the twins thing.
Yeah. Wants to help Jaina. Leia cautions against it for the sake of the children. Yeah. So he's like, yeah, I know these aren't your kids, and I know your daughter's in danger, but like, you've got we've got other people's kids on board, and it's really best that they survive. So,
Mm-hmm.
let me check my notes again, see where we are. All right. Twin Sun Squadron gets surrounded. Jag has a plan. Jag guides Jaina and Kip's shadow. Oh yeah, I love the shadow bombs.
Yeah.
Where basically they launch a missile and then they use the force to guide the missile.
Mm-hmm. Pretty
And
cool.
so they basically use Jag's movements and maneuverability. The missiles basically follow him.
Mm-hmm.
And then once he's out of the way, they hit the enemy ships.
Yeah.
Then Jag does an insane maneuver. The Vong frigates get disabled and destroyed. Jag gets separated from the unit among coral skippers. Jaina refuses to leave him.
Yes, Bubs.
Tries to get Kip to jump without her, and he does. And he's like, "No, I know what you're thinking. You're going to do a suicide run." He's like, "I ain't going without me," which I thought was cool. He's like, it's like you're my apprentice. I need to be able to watch your back.
Mm-hmm.
Jaina attacked by Gretchens, those little bugs that eat spaceships. Kip covers her. Wedge and Tycho order her to retreat. She doesn't because she wants to save Jag. Kip tells Jaina he can save Jag, but she needs to cover him. Kip's force connection, stronger than Luke, almost disappears into the force's piling. That's right. Dude literally almost dies saving Jag.
Mm-hmm.
This is nice. I love it when Alston writes stuff like this.
Alright. Right, we're gonna be doing our thing. If you need to go in the room
Okay, yeah.
to do your thing.
Hold on one sec. I gotta pause for a minute. Hang on.
Yeah. Aaron Alston.
I apologize for the wait. I had to move to a different room
Okay.
because they're gonna play Marco Polo in there
Oh, okay.
for my niece. Anyway, so yeah, let me just shift over. Kip returns to himself exhausted, but yeah, he basically became one with the Force. For an instant, nearly died. Jaina says, "Thank you." Then Han gets angry at what Jaina did. Like, hey, you almost got yourself killed. Leia warns him they raised her like that. That's true.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. It's like, hey, this is your daughter. We raised her like this, okay? Like, okay. All right. He can't say jack about it. So yeah, Sabang Law didn't understand Jaina's insane tactic. He summons his father and Viki Sesh. So let's see. Jaina, Jag, and Kip arrive. Kip says to Jaina, "Buy your leave, Great One," before he arrives. Jaina expects a tongue lashing from Jag before she gets one from Wedge. Oh yeah. Jag asks her why she saved him. Jaina breaks down, doesn't want him to disappear, hugs her and tells her he's not going anywhere, and then they kiss. Which I have to admit, that was I was not expecting their romance to be like that wholesome like that.
Yeah.
I guess she kind of gets over her suicidal tendencies. Jag convinces Wedge not to punish her. Wedge removes his officer's badge and tells Jag he's happy he made. Well, yeah, technically he is technically his uncle, so he's like, yeah, I don't agree with like the action that was taken, but at the same time, I'm really happy she saved you. That I didn't have to mourn a nephew today, so that's cool. So yeah, Wedge and Tycho's rebellion level pilot in the making for Jag. Yeah, that's true because he's still here instead of he's still technically here instead of leaving. So, arrival at the mall. Tendra going to leave with Han and Leia. Valen tells Han he's not a brat. Han tells him your dad is though. That's right. That's right. Sorry, I had to include that because it was a little snipe at Corrin. Tark refuses to leave the Falcon, says he's not comfortable around the Jedi kids, and that no one cares about him. Leia tries to tell him otherwise. He tells her he's not. He's only here because he looks like Anakin. That sees him just to remind them of the hurt. Han and Leia unsure what to do. Yeah, well, yeah, he does. He does look like Anakin, and all he does is kind of remind them of hurt. But he's like, I can't just like. He's like, I want to find out where I'm supposed to be. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Han tells Tark he can come, but to not pull that looking like Anakin crap again. Well, yeah, that makes sense. He's like,
Yeah.
He's like, please don't say this crap to my wife again.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Tam tries to sneak into Danny Quee's office, but can't due to secondary security. He eventually breaks in, takes data. The implant intends to have him kill her. Yeah. Tam realizes no relationship with Danny would have ever occurred. Despite the pain, he couldn't kill Danny, taking information with. That's right. So this is when Tam starts to officially fight the brainwashing. And Alex is here. Oh, hold on a second. Hang on a sec, Alex. There we go.
Oh,
Finally, Magneto has arrived. I don't know why Yiannis isn't here. I ended up moving to 7:30 because nobody arrived at 6. So
it's fair.
So we're roughly about the time where Tam starts to resist the Vong brainwashing, even though it's causing him immense pain.
Hmm.
I had to move to my room. I'm on my bed right now. So,
Fair.
but yeah. So, yeah. Danny actually awake, monitors him, calms Ayala, checking her office to make sure he didn't plant any bong tech. Then it moves to Savang Law takes counsel with Maul Law. Viki Session discovers the Borlius rebels are building a super weapon from a lambent pit crystals artificially grown, a heresy. He orders his father, Chulkang Law, to attack immediately. Chulkang cautions patience. Savang Law doesn't listen. Chulkang Law is disappointed with his son, but ultimately agrees to the assault. Savang Law feels his father's disappointment. Yeah, that's about right with that whole thing. So yeah, Wedge, Tycho, and Ayala plan an Imperial attack. Oh, okay. So yeah, they start to do some Imperial tactics, I guess. So, on land, Tark arrive on Borlius. Han goes to find Tark's quarters. Leia finds Jaina passed out on the couch. Leia unintentionally wakes her. Leia and Jaina finally. So yeah, this is when they finally talk about their her survivor's guilt. They have a whole heart to heart. She talks about her conversation with Mara, all the times they had to be away, the pain she felt. They hug, reconcile, and say "I love." So yeah, this is pretty much where all the stuff. By the way, Alex, you were right about Rebel Stand. I didn't know for sure, but you were right about it not being as interesting as this one.
Yeah.
To be fair,
really
I think.
like one.
Sorry, go ahead.
I really like Enemy Lines 1. I don't hate Enemy Lines 2. It's just a very mixed bag.
It's not bad, but it's not great either. To be fair, I think Alston only wanted to write one, but then they said, "Oh, you're contractually obligated to write two." So he's like, "Okay, I got to stretch this more." That's not entirely his fault. So
it's not entirely his fault, and there will be a worse stretching when you get to Force Heretic, which is a trilogy.
That's what I've heard. Force Heretic. One of the things my buddy Jonathan Cohn recommended to do there is I'm going to do a stream with the first two and then another stream with the second. So that's going to be a two-parter.
Okay, that'll probably be easier for you.
Yeah. That's why he suggested that. So yeah, I have to. From what everybody's told me, I have to go through the boring aspects of the first two because it's all build up to the better one.
Basically, yes.
So I'm guessing the first stream's going to be mostly details, and the second stream's going to be like, oh, and it built up to this and this and this.
Basically, yeah, without saying anything, but yeah, it's rough.
So,
well, I'll say the
yeah,
second
this is an S. Yeah.
Oh,
but
no, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to move on to the next point in the novel, but go ahead. What you were saying about Force Heretic.
Force Heretic 2 it's again kind of like this, where it doesn't really need to exist, but we get basically Truce of Bakura 2, which is cool. But at this point, so close to the end of New Jedi Order that I'm just getting annoyed that you're doing another derailing, so we can not end this story. So
yeah.
If it was like a separate novel, it would have been awesome. But I was on my reread, I was annoyed because I'm like, the series is just finding excuses not to end. So
yeah, it's I'm glad that there's a lot left, but yeah, as long as the filler isn't too much, it shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, I really like Final Prophecy, and you got Traitor next, so you got still.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely looking forward to Traitor. Because you've built it up to me, other people have built it up to me, so
don't want to overhype it, but it's I like reading in general, and I think it's probably one of the best just written books in terms of prose and
yeah. Well, here's the thing. I really liked Star by Star, and that was a long book.
Yeah.
And for me, it really depends. Like a book can be short or can be long. What matters most to me is is it an interesting short or an interesting long?
Yeah.
As long as the book stays interesting, I don't care if it's long or because again, I went through star by star and there wasn't a moment in that entire book where I was bored. And okay, yeah, this is just an extra detail. I was genuinely interested in the details of that particular, and because again, I had moments in Balance Point where I was still paying attention to details, but I was kind of bored. Same with the Agents of Chaos duology. Just like I had moments in Dark Journey where it got a little slow.
Yeah.
There was nothing like
works, right?
Huh?
You read other Matthew Stover books, right?
Yeah, I haven't done Revenge of the Sith, but I've done Shatterpoint and Luke Skywalker in the Shadows of Mindor.
Okay, well, yeah, you kind of know what to expect. It's a very character study focus, so.
Shatterpoint. I think my only critique of Shatterpoint was that it was a little too detailed.
Yeah,
it's not bad. It's just a little lengthy with the details.
It's also just Apocalypse Now in Star Wars.
Yeah, which I did enjoy that aspect, and then Luke Skywalker and the Shadows of Mindor just felt like a decent novel. It was very character study on Luke Skywalker, but when I talked to Stover about it, when we asked questions and stuff like that, he was pretty cool about it. But
he's super nice.
Yeah, no, he's great.
40 minutes of his time at Legends Con 1, so.
Yeah, well, I went to the Legacy Expo one and was able to talk to him again, and I got a pretty interesting perspective of how he thinks of the dark side, which that was interesting. His view is not the same as George Lucas's when it comes to the Force, though, too. And I'm gonna check out his Legacy of Kain books.
Same, eventually.
When I get to it eventually. But at the same time, I was trying to convince him, because like I said, I got to do the same for you. Because I was trying to convince him to read Berserk. Because I'm I think this would be right up your alley. You seem like a very dark guy, but have some wholesome bits. I'm that's Berserk in a nutshell. It's a dark story with some wholesome bits.
This duology has some dark stuff in it too.
Oh, it does. And even though Rebel Stand, I don't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed Rebel Dream. There's definitely some bits in Rebel Stand that I enjoy. I was genuinely interested in anything involving Nyax, but we'll get to that when we get there. So let's see. Okay. So Wedge is flying Luke's X-wing with R2, and that was an interesting concept. So yeah, that Wedge is using Luke's X-wing. Don't worry about my screen popping in and out. That's just me checking my notes. But yeah, he's yeah, I know you missed Luke, but don't worry about it. He'll be back before you know it. Anyway, so Lando volunteers to fly record time with his last YVH Vonghunger YVH-11, which could be suicidal for him, and it is. Tem finds Jaina's confession. Finds Jaina, confesses he's the spy, removes her tracking bug. So yeah, that's how the ambush happened, was the tracking bug. She calls medical for him. The pain becomes too much. He collapses. Puts the Vong data card, puts the data card and Vong jelly bug on his chest. So yeah, that was kind of weird. Jaina and Jag exchange look. Kip notice. Kip isn't in love with Jaina, but he wants to make her happy, and he's jealous of Jaina. I guess you could say I'm a little more forgiving now of how they tried to paint Kip and Jaina's relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's supposed to be master and apprentice, and as long as him being with like, because I wouldn't be against a romance between Kip and Jaina. Not that it would happen, because no author sadly in their right mind would ever push that. Because her and Kip, it's not all that different from Han and Leia's age. Because Leia was like 19 and Han is like
there's a 10-year gap.
Han is like
he was in his early 30s when A New Hope happens, and
Yeah.
Luke and Leia are both 18 at the start of that.
So Jaina being 18 and Kip being like, he's like probably in his late 20s, early 30s isn't that bad.
It's about
And
the
I think
same.
yeah. And I think my sister, like, she's like 8 years younger than her husband, so it's not so bad as far as I'm concerned. But
Yeah, it's just
yeah.
you know.
So all right, so Battle of Borlaeus begins. Jaina gives Piggy command while she, Jag, and Kip plan a maneuver. Commander Davip of the Lusankya is worried his crew of misfits won't be enough to carry out Operation Emperor's Hammer. He is told by Wedge that command has deemed them all expendable. Yeah, that's about right. That's right. Wedge really lays it down to Davip. It's like, yeah, they sent you here to die because they don't think we're going to survive this, but we're going to prove them wrong. We are all going to survive this battle, and we're all going to kick ass. So, Davith takes control of a gun and tells the gunners anyone who does poorer than him is reassigned to the ground for body pickup. Needless to say, nobody did worse than Captain Davith by the end of it. Jaina tells Kip to slave his controls to Jag and flows the shadow bomb. He can't see with Jag's maneuvers. Let's see. Wedge orders them to fall back so Vong forces can advance. That's right, they're closing the trap. Lando sends a rescue transmission to draw Coral Skippers. Lando jokingly taunts YVH-11. And then, so Luke and the Wraiths are all in Vong armor. Because they're going under disguise. They have like, it's weird that they've managed to adapt this, but they have like fake Oogolith masters, so they're able to like legit. So I'm like, dang! So now the Vong technology isn't even that unique because we've already duplicated it.
Yeah. Well, see, that's another thing. Like, it's awesome, but it's also like, the longer the series runs, the less of a problem the Vong are, and the less of what made them cool kind of goes away. So it's like, at that point, once you lose that factor, you should probably wrap it up. But then we have.
Well, I told you in previous books that, like, I think it was Star by Star as well as Dark Journey, that like I'm already used to the Vong as an enemy.
Yeah.
Like, anytime they come up with some sort of new cosmic horror, I'm like, I'm not even surprised anymore. I'm like,
At least
oh, what great. Yeah.
Which was like a new thing. That wasn't a thing previously. So it was like, okay.
Yeah.
But.
And again, this isn't. This isn't me. Again, this isn't me crapping on the Vong. They're still a very intimidating enemy, but the more you face an enemy, the more you get used to their tactics. It's like how. Well, it's like how American soldiers were surprised by the brutality of Japanese techniques during World War II. So, in response, they met brutality with brutality, and they weren't just executing soldiers. They were, key with taking out civilians as well, because they're like, oh, dead Jap is a dead Jap as far as that whole logic. Same with like civilian, like if there's civilian Vong, they're like, yeah, kill him. Who cares?
Yeah.
So Luke, Mara, and Tahiri and the Wraiths prepare to go to Coruscant. Lando's transmissions away. Wedge will know the drop was a success. YVH-11 saves Lando by being sucked out the airlock. Oh yeah, this was. I'm wondering, do we see any more of? I don't mind if this detail is spoiled for me, but do we see any more Vong hunters after this?
Vong hunters?
Yeah, the droids, the YVH droids.
Oh yeah, they'll keep coming back up.
Okay, because I was worried that like even because I know this is the end of 1-1, you know, his first ever designed one, but I didn't know if the Vong hunters were still going to be manufactured after this, or
Yeah,
if Lando didn't have a way to manufacture them. You know,
Yeah, there'll be more of them.
that's good. That's good to know. Okay, so Luke Martin, yes.
Our Terminator looking
yeah,
droids.
they look almost like Valance.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's what they should have done. They should have but mind you, this was before Marvel 108. They should have brought in Valance as a character.
Yeah.
You know, like you have Lando upgrade him, and he's like, "Oh, so we're going to protect the galaxy from like something that's worse than the Empire. Count me in." Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he hated
'Cause
droid, so it's like you'd think he'd be with the Vong, but the Vong are kind of sucky to everyone. So.
Well, yeah. I imagine that despite being half droid, because again, he kind of like learned to accept after like meeting like the nobility of like C-3PO in the original Marvel comics. So he kind of learned to accept his mechanical half. But it would have been interesting if they managed to get Valance and like Lando had upgraded him with the YVH.
To bump up the Marvel comics from more than S canon, but they wouldn't commit to that till
Legacy of the Force with Lumaya. Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Where it's like,
but
well, they are most definitely canon if she's a character in it. But I would have loved to have Valance come back. I would have loved to see him.
That would have been so cool. Like I know a couple people who are like diehard fans of Valance. So like to have him pop up in NJO kicking Vong ass would have been like
but back then they didn't know if they really wanted to include like
well the Marvel was the Marvel was more S tier.
They
like
were about it back at the time.
Yeah, same like they kept some details.
Yeah, same with Kyle Katarn, which I don't think gets a direct mention in the books till also Legacy of the Force. So.
Yeah, like I mean, he technically does because he's in the comic Equals and Opposites. Though I think that was a little later, and that's roughly. So I'm going to reread that when I start Force Heretic, as well as the short story or Die Trying.
In terms of timeline, I mean, he's most definitely involved around this time.
Yeah,
because Jedi Outcast game and Jedi Academy happened way before this. So he's
like back in the whole post Return of the Jedi Bantam era.
Yeah. So.
By the way, Walrus.
We don't get to see him in the novel form. So.
By the way, Walrus, any comment for any of this?
Yeah, you could quiet.
Not so far.
Also,
typically,
Walrus
go ahead.
Videos. I don't know if I've said that before.
Yeah, no, Walrus makes fantastic videos.
Thank you.
I've been fortunate enough to be on one or two of his streams, so he's a cool guy. It's usually him and Auditech that talk a lot, and Auditech's cool. So
he's very cool.
Let's see. Jaina tells Jag she has to apologize to Wedge about something. Lusankia orbitally bombards the troops below. Yeah, because the Vong are already on planet side and they have to bombard it. Keltainer lands, makes a joke about people leaving behind holodramas. He has. Oh, that's right. Because they're searching the ruins of Coruscant, and he's trying to say, I wonder if there's a holodrama I haven't seen. And looking in these old apartments if anybody's left behind. So that's something I really enjoy about this book is that Alston does not, because I don't think I saw as much of it in Rebel Stand, but Alston does not hold back the humor in this book. It's not peppered everywhere, but he manages to mix the drama with humor quite well in this book. So that's why I think it was the better of the two, at least.
Yeah.
Chilkang Law angry at Nominor for not considering these people using an orbital bombardment against them. Goes to deliver the news to his son. Yeah, so we don't see much of Nominor in this book, but or even in the other one. But the fact that he gets a mention was cool.
Yeah. Nominor is my favorite villain in the EU, so.
Oh, really? I didn't know. That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Look,
not counting like Force users, yeah.
Oh yeah, for non-Force users, yeah. There's always at least one bad guy that makes you go, "Oh, cool."
I mean,
So yeah, Lando returns and has a victory party. Jag invites Jaina. So yeah, that was the optimistic but cliffhanger ending of Rebel Dream. Is that like, hey, we defeated the Vong, we've held them off. Let's go have a party. Meanwhile, Luke and everyone are in the bowels of Coruscant. So that's the cliffhanger aspect. So yeah, Rebel Dream, fantastic book. Would highly recommend.
Agreed.
Totally.
And now we get to Rebel Stand. And again, I don't hate this book. I just don't love it either. It was the first
worth reading,
Yeah.
but I also think if you already were getting a little bit fatigued reading through all these, and you wanted like essential reading, this isn't it. You could skip this book, and outside of a couple things that are said in this particular book, you could start Trader and miss nothing. You would be fine.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, same.
I mean, like I would still keep
but-
the final battle of Borlius when they have to retreat.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, it's just like because most of it won't be referenced moving forward. In Destiny's Way, I guess,
Yeah.
is more. Destiny's Way is more of the one where it's like, oh, they don't reference it because Trader takes place during this like whole year that we haven't seen him. So that's a little different. But Destiny's Way, the first proper story continuing after this, since Trader's got that in between showing from Jason's perspective what's been going on. So,
and
but
I'm super excited for us to finish this so I can talk about, or so I can experience Trader and we can talk about that next.
that's another thing with that. I said this another video ago with we got all these characters on Coruscant right now. Who else is on Coruscant right now? Jason. And there's no mention of it in Trader that anything's going like you would think explosions and a big giant dark side guy wreck and stuff would be at least mentioned in Trader, but it's just not, and it's not mentioned anywhere else. It's only mentioned in this book.
I think
so it's very weird that.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think the original plan was that Alston was only going to write one book, and then like save the other one for later when he had more of an idea. And Trader only took into account the first book because my guess is I could be wrong, but it's possible Alston had to scramble to write the second book. Like he had to come up with
less polished.
I'm not saying he did, but it feels like it.
No, I agree. I'm saying it feels less polished.
Yeah, I mean, so let's start talking about Rebel Stand. Jaina, Jag, and Kip escorting a ship, taking out coral skippers in sync. So yeah, the book started out pretty good. It started out with like them defending against another Vong attack. They no longer have that as much. I mean, there's still some of it, but they no longer have that disconnect that they had before.
Yeah.
So let's see. Coruscant infiltration unit. Luke jokes about kissing Mara for luck, much to her chagrin. Because of course, they're a married couple, so they got to bicker like an old married couple. But it's always fun. So
they've kind of always bickered though.
Yeah.
So that's kind of been their shtick.
Yeah. So Vong challenges the Coruscant group. They battle the warriors. Keltainer plants a bomb that wipes out the Vong, could expose them with the explosion. So yeah, because they're infiltrators, are like, okay, so this is probably going to get rid of the enemy, but at the same time, our coverage is pretty much going to be blown. They're going to know we're here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As Han working on the Falcon, they plan to leave Tark and Meewall behind. Oh yeah, Meewall. That's Leia's other Nogri bodyguard, if I recall, the one that's still alive.
Yep.
Yeah, they've rarely. I'm genuinely surprised that because like the Nogri bodyguard, even in like Dark Journey, and as much with I think for Star by Star, they barely get mentioned anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting that even one reference.
It's kind of lame.
Yeah, so Han noticed Leia's sadness over her dead and missing sons and her daughter without them leading a squadron. Tim's twin sons rendezvouses with Tanab Yellow Aces. One flirts with them. Oh yeah. See, this was a highlight from the book, but he's not utilized nearly as much as he should be. Let's see here. Tam awakes in the hospital, being treated by Stilgal. His brainwashing is being broken. He worries he's still going to be executed. Stilgal tells him he is pardoned, and he cries. There's tall man and short man breaking in somewhere. It wasn't revealed right away, but the tall man is obviously Nyax. He has a short man with him, and then he kills him. So Wes Jan. So this is who I was talking about. Wes Jansen was the one who was flirting with Jaina, and he's back. And like when I saw Wes Jansen, I'm like, oh, this novel is going to be great. But he's hardly used in this novel.
Yeah.
Part of what's so great about Wes Jansen, and it's part of the reason why I really loved Starfighters of Adamar as well as the Wraith Squadron trilogy, was just the little jokes he cracks 24/7.
Mm-hmm.
I still think the best one was in Starfighters of Adamar. He was really messing with Hobby. He's like, "Don't worry, I'm sure they won't notice it." It's like, "Notice what? Just don't worry about it." I mean, I only notice because I know you. I'm sure they won't know. Notice what? Like the way he just messes with people like that. I'm like, see, so yeah, and he's not utilized very well in this book, and I'm like, come on, this is Wes Jansen. this dude's like a Joker. He's so yeah, that was definitely an issue.
So he's getting older, I guess. I don't know. Best I can manage.
Yeah.
But I think it's just because the book's rushed. Supposedly.
Yeah. So yeah, Jansen's there to stay. I think if I recall correctly, when he finds out Jaina is the one he flirted with, he's like, "Oh, well, crap! I hope Han doesn't find out. He'll kill me." So let's see. Chulkane Law meets High Priest Harar and assigns Chirrut Kral to his command. Coruscant group gets attacked. Luke, Mara, Kel, Bindi meet the local resistance. So yeah, I think they get attacked by like mutants or something that like serve Lord Nyax.
Yeah.
They put Tahiri in charge of the unit and Face jokes. See, this was another good one that they barely utilized. But Face calls Tahiri Auntie Tahiri, which I thought was hilarious. It's another time where like really early on this book has like some good zinger jokes at the start and is funny, but then you don't see as much of it for the rest of the book. I'm like, it's like the John Travolta meme from what was it, Pulp Fiction, where he has the coat and he's like,
yeah.
That was me in the book looking for a lot of the jokes. They meet the leader, Tanga Javik, I believe her name is, in the Walkway Collective. Tanga explains the dire situation, asks when the fleet's coming. Luke disappoints her. They say Bindi will help her survive. Yasat, someone in Taird's people, informs them the horror figure Lord Nyax, as that's when we get like the first official mention of Nyax. So yeah. Oh, seems kind of, the room's clear, so I might have to move. All right, I'll be right back.
It was a little weird in the book that Lord Nyack seems to have like this history behind him, even though he can't have been on Coruscant for super duper long. So clearly there was some sort of myth or legend about a Lord Nyax that has been attributed to this character who I don't even think named themselves. I think this is something that people have just started calling him. So it gets you wondering, like, what is that all about? And in the semi-canon, not official Supernatural Encounters book, they dive into that a bit more. Because I always thought that was a little weird that they have this whole story for this Lord Nyax, but clearly they're talking about somebody else because this guy hasn't been around for that long. But they think it's him because of the boogeyman.
Well, it was from what I heard, it was supposed to be like a Corellian boogeyman, but of all places for Lord Nyax to be, it has to be on Coruscant. So, well, let me check notes.
Stuff, going on in its depths.
I still need to read Supernatural Encounters. I'll get to it eventually, but
I mean that's a hefty one. So you could save it for sure. So.
When Sun Squadron prepares for a long assault, Rogue Squadron ready with attrition being the name of the game. Squadrons get replacements quickly. Other squads are forced to join the fold into each other. Yeah, so because the previous battle had so many units, so many squads getting killed left and right throughout the war, they have to fold certain ones that have 2 or 3 into different units. So someone who was say in a previous unit is suddenly added to Twin Suns because there's only 2 of them left, which makes sense. You're most of your people are gone. You kind of have to work with what you got. So they have another defense at Borleas. Harar and Sharak Kral discuss the battle, and if this is for Harar or Choking Law, he says it's for Law. So yeah. Janitor Squad's defense of Borleas. Choking Law and Sharak Kral plot on the Lambit crystal growing machine to blow it up. Twin Suns Squadron tests a new bomb that hangs off of the X-Wing. Yeah. Corrin Horn and Rogue Squadron attack Coral Scoopers. Corrin almost gets blown out of the sky. So clearly he's not that great of a pilot. I'm just joking.
How many times do all the best pilots in Star Wars at some point almost crash, though? Let's be real.
It's quite a bit.
Han's done it. Luke's done it. Everyone's done it. Freaking Wedge and Tilly's have done it. All of them have had their crashing moment. So.
Yeah. Woman helps large man who seems dazed but works anyway. Han and Leia say goodbye to Tark. That's because they're kind of going off to do their own operation. Yeah. C-3PO and the YVH-1V1 argue about the spark anomalies. They discuss whether a droid is more sentient than a spark. Quite the moral quandary. Honestly, I kind of saw that's a detail I kind of liked about the book, was this kind of philosophical thing, saying how important is an organic life if it can end like a spark. The same could possibly be said for a droid.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of that kind of spurs throughout all of these books. from memory. It's not in every book, but it keeps coming back up with the droids and their sentience and do they have souls and whatnot.
Yeah.
Which I think Star Wars doesn't address enough, considering they got slave bolts and stuff, and they always kind of bring it up, but they never really do anything about it. So I feel like it's a missed opportunity of a storyline there of droid
Yeah.
rights, which they always go like, yeah, they're people too, but we're not gonna change anything. They're still gonna be subservient to humans. Sounds like
Yeah.
all right.
If droids could think, there'd be none of us here, would there?
Yeah.
So the small man is revealed to be someone named Rayuk. His tools are unable to breach an area, so the large man kills him. The large man must find a new person with tools. I mean, that's pretty much everything, yeah. Han and Leia arrive at Vanix to smuggle 2 agents to form a resistance. Yeah, that makes sense. They agreed by Senator Adith, who survived Coruscant's evacuation. She is running for president after the previous one fled with the treasure of the world. She's running against General Epelbin. Trying not to butcher the name, but
Yeah.
once in the room, Leia has art. Those are mine. Those are my shoes.
Where are they on top of school?
They weren't on top of your school stuff. They were on the ground.
No.
Okay. Well, don't worry about them. Once in the room, Leia and R2 play music to set up a fake conversation with Han and Leia. Because Leia suspects the room is bugged, which it was. C-3PO informs them that Adith wishes to support Vong appeasement. Ethelben wishes war with them. Leia tells Han she isn't a politician, but a smuggler now. Despite previously saying she didn't want to be a smuggler, she's now a smuggler. Tomato, tomato.
It's who you married.
Yeah, that's true. Okay,
I mean, to be fair,
Tam
you
meets
kind of
Tark. They find
general. Wow. At heart.
what now? Say again?
I said, I mean, to be fair, he became a general for a bit, but at a heart, still a smuggler.
Yeah, at the heart, still a smuggler. But now what's funny is that now she's joined his little smuggling gang. So so Tam meets Tark. They find common ground. Tark becomes Cam Man. Yeah. So this was kind of them pawning Tark on Tam and Wyval or Weil, so that they could. This is him just kind of like writing off his characters. I think he had more of an arc, but obviously, rush planning. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Githradal informs Savong Law that his arm is getting worse. He mentioned that he doesn't revere Yun Yuzan enough. Savong Law intends to summon Tak Ul as a potential candidate to replace him, but it's a trick. He summons Nen Yim to scrape off flesh eaters. His servant Danua Ku planted a spy device on Githradal. So yeah, I will say this. This is one of the positives of the book, is that it actually is showing, because I think Alston at least had this planned out. It is showing him taking down the priest class.
Mm-hmm.
That he is that he is going for his suspicions. So, all right. So, large man now has a crew digging in the doors he's trying to get into. He laughs. So do they, until they cough up blood. This is obviously Nyax not knowing his own strength, or not. To be honest with you, not even knowing how to use a human mind. Jag and Jaina meet up to kiss. They discuss potential pilots to join Twin Suns. She suggests her old friend Zek. I don't know, isn't that going to be awkward when he finds out, you're dating an Imperial?
Just
I mean, you
wait.
guys were, if not lovers, at least close enough that you were, something in the past.
They dated. They definitely dated.
Yeah.
But yeah, more awkwardness and darkness, that's for sure. So
I'm betting. He suggests a Moncal shuttle pilot named Belyath. Nenyim discovers Githradal's treachery. Savong La gives her access to his quarters to learn how to counteract it. So, for her efforts, Savong La does decide to reward Vicky Sek. So, even though it's not as vital, there are aspects of this novel that are at least important, unless they're covered in like Destiny's Way or something like that.
well, I think in most books things usually get restated if it's important enough.
Yeah.
But that's why I said like most of the book you could skip and you wouldn't miss out.
Yeah.
Um,
You just need the key details.
yeah, I mean, you could honestly read a Wikipedia article on this book and get everything you need. And
Yeah.
Later,
But like I said, most of the key details are there.
yeah, it wouldn't be jarring at all. So
Savong La tasks her to go to Coruscant to find the Jedi. Admiral Appleban Worm asks what Leia wants for her support in the election. Han names the price of some submersibles, and Leia asks why he asked for submersible. To Han later, he explains some can be used for the Resistance because, like, you can get ships anywhere, but like, the idea is that they're trying to build resistance on these worlds to fight the Vong. I mean, it'll be interesting to see the government actually be part of the resistance if Appleban wins the election. But at the same time, like you still need to have your own rebel cells ready and waiting to go. Like I actually did enjoy Han and Leia's, even though they only go to like 2 planets. I actually did enjoy their little tour on trying to recruit. I do kind of wish there was more of them though, and more substantial worlds that they go to. Like even if they had done this, let's say hypothetically they do it in like Force Heretic instead of here, even that would have been something. Like just kind of building up the resistance.
yeah.
Leia must find a way to rig the election. Jag and Shankir discuss analyzing Yuzhang Vong as a danger to the Chiss. Shankir asks Jag of his loyalties to the Chiss. He responds, others have just as admirable qualities. Shankir says she will return to the Ascendancy after Borlius, and that Jag must go in her place if she doesn't survive. He agrees. So yeah, I don't think there's anything, but there's not really anything between Shankir and Jag as far as I can tell. It's just a respective subordinate to a commander.
Yeah.
Though it does make me wonder why like there was never like anybody at the base that like took one look at Shankir as like, ooh.
They're Chiss. They're known for no nonsense attitude. So I don't know.
Oh,
or
I know.
everybody got so racist because of Thrawn that they wouldn't even look at her in that way.
That could also be true.
You know, like that.
But there was a bit of respect between her and Kip, so it did make me wonder if like that might occur to anything.
I'll just say it doesn't, but that could have been cool.
That could have been cool.
Kip's alone forever. So
And that sucks balls.
that does suck balls. He deserves better. So
Tem, Wayland show Tark how the ropes of camera work. Luke and Mara sense a dark presence. The giant man is obviously revealed to be Nyax. Luke and company find a hidden facility with eater tanks. They discover a red goo. Luke enters it, stripping his fake Vong armor, giving the goo the same message: "I am not food." Luke turns the wheel. The goo ate his clothes, and the gang jokes about it. Yeah, that part also that was funny. It wasn't like as funny as like some of the earlier moments, but it was funny. it's like Luke. Oh, look away, please. Only Mara can look for obvious reasons.
You would say something
So-
like that. Freaking nerd.
So Han and Leia continue to secretly discuss how to rig the election. Han's Sabak example. Because he's a gambler, he knows that sort of thing. Mara opens the lift with old codes, surprising Luke. Yeah, because she was the Emperor's hand, so she would know some old access codes.
Surprised they didn't change any of those in 20 years.
Yeah. Luke and the team go deeper into the facility. They discover mutilated bodies of Istal Amari corpses, which actually explains how they were able to hold Nyax. Because I'm like, how did nobody find this place? Like, I get the facility secret, but like somebody would have sensed it in the Force. I'm like, oh, they had Istal Amari there.
Palpatine project, so you know.
Another Palpatine project, yes.
He has so many. But I mean, he was right in front of the Jedi and no one knew Jack, so I can believe it.
Luke senses something dark and familiar, yeah. Han drops R2 off at a droid memory eraser, is followed by Adith's agent. Han faints sickness. Adith understands. Adith views recording of Leia's treachery with the general. Adith offers a counter-offer. Leia closes the trap. Adith exposed by recording equipment, forced to leave Vanix. Yeah. So I guess like they had like some sort of security officer following her and recording like her that she's going to serve and appease the Vong, and I guess everybody's like, "Oh, you're a traitor. Get rid of you." So Luke and his team discover a secret Imperial chamber. Droid explains that it was built as an air cleaner and for the Emperor to turn off Coruscant's air in case of an uprising. Now, I have to admit, as far as evil tyrant weapons go, that's clever. It's like, oh, so they're rebelling against me, and my forces can't hold them. Turn off the air. Oh, finally, Yiannis is here.
Yiannis.
Hello, Yiannis.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Oh my gosh.
We saw at Rebel Stand already. We've already discussed Rebel Dream. It's pretty good.
Happy to
And
have
Walrus
you.
Jedi continues to be incredibly quiet.
It's my specialty.
Still, man, I'd love to hear some of your like opinions about some of the stuff that goes on in this book.
I'm usually the quiet one normally.
So we have someone who challenges your supremacy, Yiannis.
Correct.
All right, so
The leader has died. Now, thus, we're only 3. So now Yiannis must tell us his thoughts on these books.
Guess Rebel Dream is better than Rebel Stand.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
it happened earlier and it happened again. My own stream kicked me. Anyway,
I wanted Yiannis to talk, so that's why. It was
it was
fate. It was the midichlorians.
it was Yiannis's turn to talk in the Force. No,
Exactly.
but the thing I wanted to bring up is that like the thing pretty much erased his memory. So he's not even Eric Ismarin anymore.
Mhm.
Which
Like
was
his-
also a super cool connection. I'm glad that Alston went out of his way to connect it to Children of the Jedi. Didn't
Yeah.
have to do that. It was nice of him to do so. There was no need, but I appreciate it. I just wish it was in a independent book from New Jedi Order. I feel like it would have been better.
I agree with you there because the way I was kind of looking at this Nyax situation, it was kind of like a Balrog situation, where like left unchecked, this could be a problem in years to come. Yeah,
Mhm.
I am glad. But I do agree that this should have been settled in a more substantial novel.
Yeah.
Like they really should have done this in like Traitor or Destiny's Way, even though it's tomato. But
I would have done that in Trader. But I just mean like it shouldn't have been in New Jedi Order, period. It should have just been a novel set after New Jedi Order.
or
And-
it should have been more substantial. Like you know how you said it wasn't mentioned in Traitor, it should have been mentioned in Traitor or Destiny's Way, just to kind of show that, just to kind of make the novel feel substantial, you know.
Well, Trader, I just mentioned that one specifically because it's happening on the same place, the same location.
Yeah.
It's Coruscant, and never gets brought up, which is crazy to me.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, it is a really big deal that's kind of just swept under the rug. But it doesn't have time to blossom because, well, one, I think this book was probably rushed out, and there wasn't enough time to develop everything that needed to be developed. And Nyax is an interesting enough character that he deserved his own novel, and instead he gets like 1/3 of a novel because this isn't his story. This is the Vong story, and we're just shoving him as a side quest in an already long story. So you know,
again, I would have liked it. I would have liked it if like they were there for Coruscant for another reason, like you said, like if there had been more of a focus on looking for Jason, and then along the way they accidentally discover Nyax, and Luke is like, "This foe is beyond any of you."
something, yeah.
That would have been, to me, that would have been more interesting because it would have said like, you know, if we don't kill him, it's kind of like Broly from Dragon Ball Z from like the original movie. It's like, if we don't kill him right now, he'll continue, even though they have other stuff to deal with. If we don't get rid of him right now, he'll wipe out the entire universe.
You watched the abridged on YouTube?
The abridged? What do you mean? Oh, the abridged series. Yeah, I have of DBZ abridged.
Because my favorite thing from that is when you get the whole backstory of Broly in that movie, where he was in the crib next to Goku, and Goku was crying so loud that it pissed off Broly and turned him evil, basically. And then Vegeta goes, "What? He's so cool, but that's so
dumb."
Yeah.
And you know, Nyax was kind of like Broly because of like, not entirely, but like
all like beefed out.
Well, it was beefed out, overpowered, and
yes, it felt like an anime
his thought process was simple. His thought process was simple: seek power, destroy planet, kill enemy, control other. Like that was literally.
I did hear like Broly when I read the book the first time, for sure. He definitely gives off that. It feels like an anime character has been just yeeted into Star Wars. It's kind of funny and I looked up, you know, like art of him, and in it, you know, he looks like a kind of like a more serious Rebels character, and he's got like the lightsabers on his arms. Like this is ridiculous. This is so silly.
I actually added that art to the thumbnail last minute.
Yeah.
For the stream, but hang on. So Viki works with Vong hunters and leftover Voxen to find the enemy. And they mention how like the Voxen at this point looks sickly because like they're dying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have the queen anymore.
Yeah, the queen. Well, the queen's dead, so obviously their connection to her is gone. So they're slowly dying.
Yeah.
They discover a man. Viki takes his device before he is killed by the Vong. They find an old chair manufacturing company. Lord Nyax kills the Voxen and the Vong, and Vicky flees for her life.
Hashtag Viki, the most annoying.
She's annoying, but at the same time, I kind of feel sorry for her because she's just getting thrown into. I'm like, it's her own fault, obviously, but she's just getting thrown into all this crap.
You got more empathy than me. She has it coming. I don't feel bad for her.
She gets what she deserves.
Yeah.
So I know
Luke,
there's
Mar, and
about
Tamiri,
but she's not looking to be redeemed, so I don't feel bad.
Yeah. Luke, Mar, and Tahiri have a disturbing Force nightmare. Mara wakes up the Wraiths. Vicky flees Nyax. Cannibals almost kill Vicky and are killed by Nyax. Yeah, that's about right. They're like, all right, let's we got some free eats. Oh crap, and then get cut up. Because all she hears is like distant lightsaber blades cutting things up. She's like, I just want to get out of here. That's her the entire time. It's like all this scary crap is happening, and she's like, I just want to get out of here. Can I go? I mean, like I said, she got herself into that situation, but at the same time, I'm like, can I get out of here, please? Luke and company approach. Vicky crawls through vents, uses a device she took off the young man from before, finds a ship with rations. Oh yeah, so some good fortune popped up for her. She's like, oh my god, I can get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Han and Leia disguise. So yeah, this is when they go to the next planet. They disguise on Afron. And then someone from the Peace Brigade recognizes them. Meanwhile, back on Borlius, Wallum and Tam discuss footage, and Wallum tries to get Tam a date. Tries to tell him to be proud of himself for resisting Vong control. Ooh, yeah, it makes sense. Tam talks about offering Tark a home, which is cool. Yeah, it's like a sort of found family situation, but like, I don't know, like, I was trying, like, I don't hate these characters, but at the same time, like, they're not as interesting as they could be.
No. Yeah.
I feel like Tark and Tam could have been more. And again, I'm not against journalists because, again, he's used journalists before. He forgot her name, but there was that one lady that had like a holocam droid head on her person during Starfighters of Adamar.
They're just underdeveloped. That's all. There's not enough there to have a strong emotional stance one way or the other.
Yeah, and that's kind of the whole issue with this book is like you want to be invested, you want to be more into it, but because some of it isn't all that interesting. Again, there are some aspects that, like I said, I was completely interested in the Nyax situation. I was interested anytime Jaina, Jag, and Kip were talking about something, but they're used so sparsely in this book.
Mm-hmm.
And same with like Wes Jansen. Even Lando, if he had at least one scene with Lando, it would have made the book a bit more interesting. Like but there isn't a single scene with Lando in this book because he's back at the Jedi base with Tendra. So
It honestly feels like the story, outside of certain parts, like Alston didn't even want to write it because the usual spark that he has is just not in it in these books, or in this book. I mean, but I mean, I really do like the Lord Nyax connection just because.
I think some of his ideas were in it because again, I can feel the characterization behind Nyax.
Yeah.
I
wasn't saying it wasn't there. I'm just saying that it doesn't feel like it's 100% in it. Like
yeah. No, I do get what you're saying.
Throughout the whole thing, it's just splendid because he's given 110%. Even Rebel Dream, which we just talked about before, it felt way stronger than this one.
Yeah.
It's just raw. So.
Mm-hmm.
Anything to say, Walrus, Yiannis, about this?
I'll save my thoughts for the end.
Okay.
Not much.
That's interesting. Wallum and Tam discover a strange wall. Tam explains it to be a Vong device. Vong, Tam calls security, and a Vong infiltrator. Tam gets disrespected. Vong calls the security officer an idiot. I like that detail. That was good. Even if like the characters weren't, I'm like, yeah, I mean, like this is pretty important. He's trying to get a hold of you. He's like, you're an idiot. We have an issue. So Tam sees a Vong agent torturing a Bothan, attempts to rescue, is saved by Ayala. Tam tells Ayala, I'm going to pass out now. Okay, that was, again, a good moment in the book. Like, yeah. I was interested in Tam because I'm like, yeah, you know, he wants to save this guy. I'm like, that's very noble, and that's actually has me interested. And he somehow luckily survives, and Ayala's there, and she's like, "You okay, Tam? You did good." He's like, "I'm gonna pass out now." See, that to me that was good, but yeah. Back on Apron, Han and Leia are arrested by local security. R2 and 3PO plan a rescue. 3PO gets over his self-preservation for their sake. Pretty sure he already did that, but anyway. Han and Leia troll the security captain, joke about Darth Vader's tortures. That's true. Like they both got tortured by Darth Vader, so like what's the worst this guy can do?
It's true. It's true.
We see one implied torture, and then we see the actual torture in in Empire Strikes Back between A New Hope and Empire. So it's I'm like, so yeah, where's the threat behind this guy? Yeah, Han tries to see if Leia can bust them out with the Force. R2 struggles with prison computers. 3PO sneaks the weapon in. So yeah, I thought that was interesting. I guess R2 actually had issues with the computer of this one, and at the same time, once he did manage to, they managed to fool the droid by changing food items into like a knife and a blaster, or a lightsaber and a blaster. It's like, these are supposed to be edible. Yes, they're a delicacy. So yeah, like I said, little moments like that, not bad, pretty fun.
They're
It's
just too few and far in between. So
yeah. So Leia and Han do their escape. Han and Leia escape through a garbage chute. That should bring back some memories. Kill a bunch of security droids with blasters grabbed by Leia. Piece-Grade Captain, not pleased at their escape, threatens to kill his underling. They escape on the Falcon. Han looks for sabotage. Han finds it in a hyperdrive generator. Someone was or is on board. They also left a tracker. Han and Leia escape. Han remarks to Leia that this was fun, and she agrees. Which, throughout that whole little event, it would be fun to Han because it's like, it's been a long time since we've done something this stupid. We used to do this all the time in the old days before we had kids.
Darn kids.
Yeah.
Well, as far as they're aware, I mean, there's less to worry about now. That's
Sadly.
yeah. I mean,
that's messed up, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they'll find out soon they have one more, but for now, as far as they're aware, 2 are gone. So
Ayala thanks Tam for what he did. Tark tells him everyone thinks he's crazy for taking Vong by himself. Wellham gives holocam job to Tark until Tam recovers. So yeah, that's kind of like the end of their arc, sort of. Scientists explain to Luke how Coruscant is changing into a Vong world. They explain to him that maybe years before they can liberate the planet, and the goal now is to teach others to survive on it. Luke is disheartened and wonders if the Jedi will lose faith in him, Mara included. Luke sees an honor-garbed sees a vision of Eric Ismarin, and that's not Nyax toying with his mind,
Mm.
like just completely messing with his head. Luke and the Wraiths leave Spot hungry cannibals in the room before they arrive. Mara convinces Luke to sleep finally because he's been up this entire time. Han and Leia arrive at Borleus. Let's see, and encounter coral skipper mines and can track signatures. Oh yeah, that was another horror that was invented. The coral skipper mines that track and follow you. So yeah, yay!
Yeah.
more Vong destruction objects. Yay!
Yep.
So they explain this to Wedge and Tycho, return to quarters, encounter Tam, and talk to him about Tark, obviously. Jaina and Jag call Kip out of bed, confront him. So they basically have like a I can't remember if it's a middle of the night or an early day picnic with him.
It was cute.
That he can be a partner and he doesn't have to be alone with all he lost. The grunts argue about Lusanki as captain, Wedge Antilles, and Jaina and the Twin Sun Squadron. So yeah, there's dissension among the ranks. I do think that was cool though, what Jaina and Jag did for Kip. It's like, hey, we know you've lost a lot, but you don't have to be alone. You've got people who actually give a crap about you. I'm like, oh, see, that's like I don't see it as much in other authors, but I always see it in Alston. There's all like you were telling me about with the Quizuk situation, like how he handled that. It was very graceful, very well done. And
I know he doesn't like it, but he still showed it respect because he knew there were people who did like it. And that's what I appreciate about him as an author in the EU, which is collaborative, project.
yeah, he's like I'm not the biggest fan of this, but I'm gonna show my author colleagues respect, and he did. For the most part,
they'll just kind of shit on it, under the rug, Or
especially Zahn and Stagpole. Like I don't like to complain about them, but
I mean, Timothy Zahn with Dark Empire, like he made a little sly joke in what was it, Hand of Thrawn about how like I'm Mara Jade. I never heard about no Emperor returning because he didn't like Dark Empire. It was an unnecessary little jab, but he made sure to put it in there. It's not collaborative and it's not in good spirit. It's just mean-spirited and rude for no reason. So
well, now you know how I felt about iJedi with the Jedi Academy.
It's not. I'm on the same page. I hated that. I was so pissed because most of that. No, that's a different live stream, but you could do that second half of the novel. You don't even need that first half, really. It was just an excuse for Stackpole to shit on a trilogy for like the first half of the book. Like you could cut that out, and you'd still have a pretty good book with the whole Jedi thing and everything.
Yeah.
But
what I was thinking of doing, because like again, I have the official audiobooks on Audible. What I'll do is I'll listen to like the first couple of chapters of iJedi, skip all the way to the point where he leaves the academy, and just say, "Well, that was an interesting 10 weeks."
Luke, you're so dumb. I know how to ignore Exar.
Get behind me, Exar Kun. You are a hindrance.
Oh, I'm sorry. My only struggle as a Jedi is that I gotta resist temptation to not bone the girl that's really wants to bone me because I'm married. That's
also, I can't fall to the dark side because I'm too egotistical.
Yeah. silly. I like him a lot better in New Jedi Order. He's a lot more toned down.
Oh yeah, no, Dark
better.
Tide. That's actually the one thing when I was hoping to meet with Stackpole again. That's actually the one thing I was hoping to tell him. Like, you were absolutely, because he told me, he's like, because I'm like, the last time I saw Jedi, he was not very humble at all. He's like, well, wait till Dark Tide, you'll see. I'm like, yeah, he was right. He actually did take some humble pie, which is cool.
Yeah, he needed it.
Yeah.
think.
Savong Law and Ninyam unleash rank. Oh yeah, this was a good part. Savong Law and Ninyam literally unleashed rancors against the priests and shapers for their tragedies. The end of Gith Radal and Takath Hul. So that was actually a cool part. I'm like, oh, you're gonna feed them all the rancors. Like, none of you are going to survive. I'm aware of your treachery. I've already replaced you, and I'm going to pin your deaths on what happened to Borlius. So, bye. I'm like, oh, that's clever. And he basically tells Ninyam, no, you're still of use, so I have no need to kill you. So yeah, this is when they discover, when Luke and the team discover that Nyax was Eric Ismarin. You know, the whole tragic story, how he's basically brain dead. Luke, being Luke, asks the obvious question, can he be saved? Because that's how Luke is. He's like, if there's a chance this guy can be saved, let's try to take that chance.
Yeah.
Beaky Search learns Danua Ku survived. They are to hunt and kill large Jedi. Vicky plots her escape and Danua Ku's death. Because obviously she's plotting. Mara spots Nyax and the workers for Luke preparing something. Let's see. So yeah, the Vong army arrives. Battle begins. Let's see. Mara spots Vicky. Luke warns Nyax needs to go first. Vong and Voxen attack Nyax and falter and die. Vicky tries to flee, having seen the Jedi, Nyax, and the Vong. Yeah, so again, it's Vicky Sesh in another situation she doesn't want to be in. And she's like, I gotta get out of here. It's there's Jedi, there's a big angry guy with red lightsabers, there's Vong and crazy workers killing each other. I need to go. So yeah, I know she's a traitor and everything, but I kind of do feel bad for her. So Vicky tries to flee. Yes. The Wraiths capture her in Vong disguises, so that was interesting. Luke tries to reason with Nyax. Nyax's vision of destruction of Coruscant. Luke is almost swayed to serve him. So yeah, that was something I thought was interesting about Nyax, is that like literally just being in his presence, like he can put like a vision in your head and you're like, hey, yeah, we could do that. We could wipe out this entire planet. I'm like, that's actually like a pretty strong influence. But of course, you know, I think like seeing Mara and her fears and worries kind of like snaps him out of it. And
if only it was the Disney canon. And Luke in that single thought. He thought about killing his nephew.
Hi, Nihilus. You all right, man?
Yeah,
He's stopping by her. I am safe. Just remain vigilant. He's in Israel right now, so coming up with a backup plan is needed. That's good. We are here just discussing Rebel Dream and Rebel Stand. So let's see. Tahiri joins the fray. Nyax attacks. Nyax droid breaks the floor during the fight. Luke barely saves Tahiri and Mara. Face goes after the droid. Mara wants to go after Vicky. Luke tells her Nyax is more important. Vicky scorns the dying Danua. Oh yeah, she basically tells him, I will tell Savong Law that you die. Giorno Giovanna theme intensifies, yeah.
I don't know, I got feelings.
She's like, I will basically tell Savong Law that you died a coward and that you begged for mercy. just to absolutely scorn him as he's slowly bleeding. They found out Nyax and the droid are both going to the ruins of the Jedi Temple. Now this was interesting. Survivors attack Yuzon Vong ruins because they're under Nyax's control. Luke, Mara, and Tahiri resist Nyax's influence through emotion, logic, pain combined. Other Jedi feel it, a wellspring in the Force at the Jedi Temple. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Does this have anything to do with that supposed Sith shrine, or was this something else? Because apparently there's a Force wellspring underneath the Jedi Temple that nobody seemed to know about that Nyax finds.
Possibly. I'm trying to remember what the EU specifically says and what I've learned from semi-canon sources. I'm not positive. I'm positive on that one.
Nyax releases his slave thralls so he can focus on the wellspring. Luke guides them to escape with the Wraiths through a mental link. Wraiths steal Viki's ship. Bindi leaves since there's no resistance, but Valjos, one of their scientist members, decides to stay because he's like, ooh, I can study how this planet is slowly turning more acid green and gross and plant-like. Viki returns to find a sky cab and some food rations in her escape pod. She's her escape ship was gone. She starts crying. So yeah, again, I don't know, maybe because she's just like so pitiable nowadays, I just started feeling sorry for her. I'm like, she used to be this big prominent senator with power, and then like she gets caught by the Vong after her treachery, and she's just like this incredibly pathetic thing, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I can't help but feel sorry for her, even if she's treacherous. So, Nyax grows tired of Coruscant and fighting the Jedi, wants to destroy Coruscant and leave to destroy the next world. So yeah, he's basically thinking Broly logic at this point, where he's like, let's wipe out next planet. I don't like this place. Tahiri uses Vong weapons against Nyax, debris falling everywhere. Escape ugly truth ship going after Nyax. Nyax at the bottom of the pit in pain. Nyax is slowly dying, can barely hit Vong ships. Because, yeah, he can't really sense Tahiri because she can go, like, kind of go out of the Force. Anyway, collapsing Nyax dead. Jedi feel it in the Force, but his anger remains in the rope. So, yeah, they introduced this really terrifying villain and then just kind of kill him off unceremoniously. So I felt like that was a waste. Not just as like, you know, wiping out a character, but I felt like his death was kind of anticlimactic, even with all like the explosions going around. They hear crying on the comlink, go back for Viki sesh. Viki prepares to feign pity and beg for mercy. A near-death Danua Ku returns to kill her. Viki commits suicide, jumps to her death. Danua Ku throws a razor bug and then dies. And then they decide to leave Coruscant with all the refugees they saved. Luke returns to Borlias, greeted warmly by Kip Duran and his family, slowly being healed from the trauma of losing their nephew, or his nephew. Lusankia is barely keeping together. Wedge has a speech, you know, false weapon, squadron ready deception. Chokang Law and Kazabul attack the Lusankia. More fighters approach. Chokang Law starts executing Peace Brigade officers for every Vong ship destroyed due to misinformation. So yeah, very unforgiving to your collaborator allies and friends there. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm genuinely not surprised by it. Aaron Venture comes under attack. Turret Crawl attacks the pipe fighters. Many ship escape the system. Millennium Falcon and Eric Venture disappear. Lusankia attempts escape, but is stopped by Dove and Basil mines. Han and Leia launch missiles. Choking Law is confused by Jaina's signature is now among Lusankia's forces. Wedge tells Ayala to leave. Tells her I love you, and then gets a sinking feeling. Now this is the part where I thought the novel might have a bit more substance, because I thought, Wedge is getting a feeling that he might not make it. So I'm like, oh, so this might be the next big death.
Yeah.
And it comes close, but still no cigar. Wedge's shuttle is destroyed. Wedge finds an X-Wing, has trouble accessing. No astronaut finally succeeds starting. Wedge fires on some Vong warriors, makes contact with the Amud Swooper ship. So he makes contact with another ship that needs an escort. Takes down coral skippers and flies under a Vong. That's what that creature's called, a Vong Rakamat, the giant beast, the one that Lando took down earlier. Causes more damage, says he's getting too old for this. Well, yeah. Wedge is definitely getting too old for this because he's been doing it for years now. Chokane Law and Kazdik Buell watch the Lusankia going down. Chokane Law discovers the truth that they didn't defend the Lusankia's guns, only its engines, that they intend to ram it into them, calls Kazdik Buell an idiot because he didn't see that coming. Luke notices the missing Black Moon fighter return with Nenora. Doesn't worry about it right now. Jaina commands Charlotte to launch a missile with her signature to guide it through the Coral Skipper minefield. Jaina tries to sync with Kip, Duran, and Jag in the space battle. Chokang Law and Harar discuss Jaina's insane tactics. A Vong pilot goes rogue, pursues Jaina. Turret Crawl targets the disobedient pilot. He notices Jaina's signature is killing off most of his pilots. He kills the disobedient pilot. Any thoughts on this battle so far?
Battle.
Yeah, I didn't think so. It's a battle. So you'd think it'd be a bit more. It's interesting, but it's only as interesting as a space battle can be. Luke protects Mara. Mara covers Luke. They break from the squad. Captain Davith guides the Lusankia from a secret room in the ship. Now that's something I thought was a little interesting. Long after the bridge is gone, Wedge makes some crazy maneuvers trying to protect Amud Swooper, and himself takes a painful turn to kill the lead pilot. So yeah, Wedge's whole I guess you can kind of call it like the start of his last stand.
Yeah.
I thought was like the most semi-interesting part.
I don't know. I know Matt always makes those like, I didn't know who would live or who would die, and that was probably true for a lot of people back when they read it.
Yeah.
But even without knowing stories set after this, I just had a feeling like if they're gonna do it, they would have done it already.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Wedge would be fine, so it didn't really do that much for me. So
Yeah. Wedge is an insane shot and the remains of the enemy coral explosion sends debris into the other coral. Yeah. Choking Law realizes there's something off about the way Lusankia is crashing, prepares to retreat. Luke sends a signal. Mara by his side. The Mon Mothma arrives. Chilkane Law hears about 5 Millennium Falcons attacking at once. Aaron Venture returns to fire on the Vong ship. So yeah, they're I thought that was an interesting tactic, at least to use on them, which was multiple signatures.
Uh-huh.
At least for the initial Jaina, but I think they'd wise up after like 5 Millennium Falcons. One is hard enough to deal with. Choking Law realized the infidels have outsmarted him, tells Savong Law his last words. Lusankia gets closer, Domain Law abandons Domain Hole. Wedge continues to cover Omlud Swooper, Wedge's fancy flying, finishes off the last of the pursuit skippers. Wedge loses Seals, decides to risk himself to save Omlud Swooper, even though he could die, and more Coral Strippers approach. Davith keeps the Lusankia steady until it's close enough to crash, then escapes in a Y-Wing. And then Choking Law dies. Herard flees disappointed because he still didn't catch Jaina, or even get a victory out of this. Wedge is in a spin, he's about ready to die, sees Lusankia exploding like a giant lightsaber in space. That would have been cool to see. Wedge saved by Gavin and his squad. Wedge laughs. And that's Rebel Stand.
Woohoo!
It's okay.
Yeah.
You guys have any thoughts about it?
Those two
It's an
should
okay
go.
book.
There we go.
It's okay. I know, Walrus, I know you had some thoughts about it, so.
Well, I don't have tons of thoughts because it's, it was not as good as Dream, but
Yeah.
yeah. The Han and Leia stuff in this book, I didn't care too much about.
I think I'm with Wallace on that. I know you were a bit more sympathetic, Nazo, but that's kind of
Well, I enjoyed it more, I guess. Like I said, I didn't think this book was bad, but I just didn't think it was like up to Alston's usual like quality level.
I don't think it's bad either. I think
Yeah.
I'm fairly empathetic to this book, but as Coach 2 says, apathy is death.
I don't have apathy. I'm like, oh, okay, so this is at least there was a point. I just wish the point would have been better illustrated. And like you said, other than like a few key details, this book is kind of skippable.
Mhm.
Like
Filler arc in an anime.
yeah, it is kind of like an anime filler arc.
Yeah.
And like I said, I would have if we got to see more of Nyax's destruction, like let's say he left a huge impact on Coruscant that was felt even in the other books, then I think this book, despite just being okay, was still necessary. I definitely think, like I said, I'm more generous than you guys were. I definitely liked this one better than all of the other ones I thought were just okay, like Dark Journey and the Agents of Chaos duology and Balance Point, but not by that much.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put points above them for that over this one, personally. Maybe
Yeah.
Dark Journey. Maybe I could see an argument be made. But there are
Maybe
there's
Dark Journey was just like that to me. That like it was Aftermath, but that felt a bit more fillery to me.
I could see that for sure. But
Yeah.
as for the Agents of Chaos, I think it is also kind of filler, but there's a lot there to dig your teeth into.
Oh yeah, no, I don't get me wrong, despite it being kind of fillery, I did really love and enjoy all the little references to the Brian Daly books. You can
But that
tell
one also
James was
the Peace Brigade and stuff, so like it's adding to the story.
It built up the Peace Brigade as kind of like a starting threat that was a bit utilized a bit more in the other books, but but once again, as I said, there's this whole like I loved how how respectful he was to Brian Daly's stuff. I thought that was really
always
cool of him.
familiar with that. So
Oh,
even
I
if
know.
just-
He told a story about the con. Or he told a story at the con about him and Brian there. When they were in I think Kathmandu or something like that. And basically they went they had like these Sherpas that were kind of showing them around. And Brian really wanted to thank them. So he went to like a video store and found someone's bootleg like theater rip of Return of the Jedi. And he bought it while he was there. And then they put it on for them. Of course, the Sherpas are confused because they've never like these people are in a place where they've never seen Star Wars. So like he's just like this is just his way of thanking. And because I guess he used to drag Lucina around the world. I made a joke. I'm like, this is sounding an awful lot like the film Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. And he's like, yeah. He's like, yeah, that was us. like Del Griffith dragging the Martin Steve Martin's deal to like multiple. It's like, yeah, that was Brian and me. So I definitely love that. Any thoughts on these books, Yiannis?
I liked the Rebel Dream. I liked how it had that day after day aspect to it. Like it mentions day 48 of the Battle of Boreas, day 49 of the Battle of Boreas.
Yeah, Rebel Stand didn't have that either.
Then when I like the Jane and Jag romance, which starts to flourish with this duology. Moving on to Rebel Stand, I never really liked how they went back to Coruscant this early. I felt that they should have left Coruscant and its reformation for Traitor.
I didn't mind them going. I would have just liked that for Rebel Stand to have a bit more substance for their reason going.
Yeah, I guess.
It's kind of hard to explain it without you having read Traitor, but
I'm sure I'll notice when I start going through Traitor that I'm like, hey, they're not mentioning this, they're not mentioning this. It's like these events never happen.
Even beyond that, just like the way that Coruscant is talked about in that book, as opposed to how it's described here, it's like similar, but it's also not given the weight that Stover brings to it.
Yeah.
I think it's just also a bit of, it should have just been saved for Traitor to see what Coruscant now looks like and feels like.
Yeah. Well, from what we've seen, it didn't seem like Alston wanted to write this one because his first book wasn't even called Enemy Lines. It was just Rebel Dream.
Yeah.
And then suddenly there was Enemy Lines 2, Rebel Stand, and suddenly there's a retitle. I'm like, yeah, this feels like he only wanted to do one for right now.
Yeah.
And didn't have his ideas, and like he had ideas, but they weren't fully fleshed out, and he was going to try to finish it like after Traitor or something.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, we need another filler duology. We don't care what you write, just as long as you write it.
Yeah, I think NGO should have probably been at most probably 15 books. Kind of like Wheel of Time. And even Wheel of Time is stretching it. This Wheel of Time drags. It's a lot. But
I've heard that from people of. Did you ever get that with Malazan?
No.
Or was
personally no. No, I could have taken another whole bunch more, but that's because there's no page wasted. So I never feel like my time is being wasted. Therefore, my time is invested well. So I enjoy my time.
Yeah. But you have to make sure that the books keep up that quality.
Yeah, and I think they do.
Although, that's cool. That's it.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. So because those are on my list after I do the Tolkien books.
Oh yeah.
Just like Wheel of Time is also on my list, but it'll be a while before I can get to them.
You're fine. You're fine waiting on that. It's a large investment, and depending on who you are, it's not gonna. You either will enjoy your time throughout, or it's gonna be a real struggle. And whenever you are doing something for fun that feels like work, it's a miserable time. So,
Yeah.
people are going to
Well-
tell you need to know by book. You need to wait till book 4 to know whether or not you're going to love the series or not. No, you will know by book 2 whether or not it's for you or not. And I know it's not for me, but I paid for all of them, so it's going to.
You're talking about Wheel of Time.
Real time, yes.
Yeah.
So, because I paid for all of them, I have to now complete them, even if it's a miserable experience. So,
Well, that's kind of me with the EU. Even though the good to okay experiences have been more than the horrible ones.
I don't think
so
the
far,
EU has too
I
many
think
horrible
huh?
ones. So,
Huh?
I said I don't think the EU has too many horrible ones. So it needs.
No, they don't. Like, I think, like I said, at a total, I think I've only been like bored or either like bored or like I'm not talking about like a chapter makes me bored. I'm talking about like the entire book either makes me bored or angry.
Yeah. You either have great, good, or decent. Typically, very rarely do you get absolutely horrible. And in my opinion, very rarely do you have absolutely excellent, peak, best thing ever.
Yeah.
I think most things are great in the EU.
Yeah. No, there's definitely a few books that hit the peak department for me, but yeah, most of them are pretty great. And I told Walrus earlier that like my favorite era so far of the EU that I've gone through is the post Return of the Jedi era.
I agree.
And I think there's only one book from there that I actually hate. Everything else is either just okay or great.
What's that one book?
You already know. Because I can't stop hating on it.
Mine's hard merchandise. I threw it against my walls. That's how you.
Oh, what the Warrior stuff?
Live there. Yeah.
Huh?
I got so mad I threw it against the wall by accident in the video. So yeah, it was the third Bounty Hunter Wars book, but it was collective anger over the trilogy. So,
but even those, even those weren't bad. Those had moments that I enjoyed.
I disagree.
Oh, what with me?
No, I dislike those.
Yeah.
No, I get why people dislike those, and my reasoning, at least for why I didn't like super enjoy them, it goes from how I feel about a particular character, which is Boba Fett, and this is because typically whenever I read a comic book about Boba Fett, the comics are very, very good. Even if it's like a short digest, I always enjoy them. And the reason why is because those comics use Boba Fett in short bursts. And that's where he works best. Short bursts.
Well, see, I think they could do more with them if they tried. But the issue is I would take, since we're talking about the Enemy Lines duology here, I would take Rebel Stand a million times over having to read that trilogy again, because
I get
a lot of people either grew up with Boba Fett in the actual 80s when those movies came out, or they watched them growing up like I did on DVD or VHS, and they get a certain idea of Boba Fett because they saw him do things for like 5 seconds total in both films and go, oh my God, he's the greatest thing since Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
He doesn't do jack in either of the movies really, besides a handful of things. Anyway, so then you read a bunch of comics and he's really cool and awesome and kind of just gives you the same vibe you thought he was in the movies. So with this trilogy, which is supposed to be focused on him primarily, you have this opportunity to flesh him out and make him like a real being with a real goals and motivations beyond just I am cool and awesome.
Yeah.
But what the books did is exactly that. He is just cool and awesome, like in a comic book, but you're stuck with him for 3 books. And
Yeah.
there's no growth, there's no change, there's no direction. He just is awesome, deal with it. And everyone else must suffer and be dumber for it, instead of making a compelling story where he's awesome and perfect and everyone else is competent and a good threat too. They all feel dumbed down just for the sake of making him look better.
Yeah, I get your. Well, that's kind of one of the reasons why I didn't like everyone, but I liked some of the short stories about Boba Fett.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
From
They fleshed him out better than the trilogy did. That's another frustrating thing. Like Tales of the Bounty Hunters and Tales from Jabba's Palace do a better job showing what Boba Fett is than an entire trilogy dedicated.
And that's why, for the most part, because so few people know how to write Boba Fett. That's why, for the most part, I feel like he works in small bursts because he is so bad at. Now, if again, there's possibility, like you said, someone could with like a good writing can like write a good character piece, kind of like how God, what's this term? Kind of like how Michael Reeves did with Darth Maul and Shadowhunter.
Yeah.
Or
you were talking about comics, but the Boba Fett is dead. Those
yeah,
two
yeah.
and I thought those were really.
Yeah, Blood Ties was good. They utilized, but part of the reason why I like not all of them, but I like most of the Boba Fett comic books, is because he's utilized very well in those comics. He has this. I feel about Boba Fett the way I feel about Darth Maul. He's a cool character with maybe some character traits, but he's primarily just there to look cool and kill people. Not that I'm saying he can't be a character, but like in most cases, he's primarily just there to look cool and kill people.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the reasons. Well, one of the reasons that I really loved the 2000 Darth Maul comic with Jander Sema, Ron Mars, that whole thing, was because it was exactly what I was hoping for. It was Darth Maul being a cold-blooded assassin. He didn't say anything unless there was something important to say. Yeah. He killed without feeling, passion, or judgment. He was just a cold as ice Sith apprentice doing his master's bidding. Done. Yeah. And that's why I liked it.
That there was a trilogy dedicated to him. I was hoping we would get more, and we didn't.
Yeah. No, I get it. I really do.
But when you get to Legacy of the Force, I guess we'll see how you feel, because people have their mixed opinions of Karen Traviss as a whole. But I think she does a lot for him in terms of making him be more than just a bounty hunter for several books. So
yeah, well, like I didn't mind him when I did Boba Fett, a Practical Man. I thought he was all right.
Yeah, I thought he was fine in there too. I have other issues with it, like how she tries to say that the the paradigm it's always been Jedi, Sith, and Mandos. Because she has to make
sure. Yeah, well, she's got to plug the Mandalorian. And again, I'm someone who loves Mandalorians. She made me a fan of Mandalorian culture, but like that doesn't mean like everything Mandalorian works. You know, there are some people that work as Jedi, some people that work as Sith, some that work as Mandalorians, some that work as Rebel pilots, some that like. It all depends on individual, and when you sadly when you try to mix some of those elements, they don't always click as well as we hope.
Yeah.
But yeah, like in particular, like Boba Fett comics, like stuff like that. Like I genuinely enjoy them unless the story's lame. Like if Boba Fett's hunting for a treasure, I get that. Boba Fett's trying to kill somebody. Like I was gonna say, like one example of Boba Fett being used very well in short bursts was the A.C. Crispin Han Solo books. He was like I always loved the fact that you have to pay a fee just to talk to the guy. It's like, okay, so that's how exclusive of a bounty. I'm like, he didn't want to live in the shadow of his father, his father, from because of what I read of the Jango Fett and stuff like that. Boba Fett didn't want to live in the shadow of his father, and now he overshadows his father completely. Like nobody even knows who Jango Fett was by that point. That's how much his career has kind of fallen into obscurity as compared to Boba Fett, who surpassed it.
Yeah. I still think Jango Fett's a more interesting character, but that's a separate thing. But Boba Fett is the better bounty hunter. But
Yeah. Well, we finished these Enemy Lines books. Sorry, the NJO Enemy Lines. Now I can finally move on to this.
yes,
Yep.
absolute cinema.
I'll take your word for it on that.
Yeah, I know I hype it up, so I just want to temper expectations.
Oh, please do.
It's not. There is fighting, but that is not the core thing of this book. There's going to be a lot of talking, a lot of slow moments.
I don't mind that
stuff. A lot of character deep diving, a lot of philosophizing.
Dude, I'm good with a lot of what you're describing. It sounds very psychological. Now, I never saw the original, but I saw a remake. It's like a modern remake, and Stover brought this up too.
you were at Legends Con 1 as well, so you went to the same panel with me.
Oh, I know, but in the second one, I was able to talk to him a little bit more. But basically, you ever heard of the movie Sleuth?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm like, from what I heard about the book is supposed to be very similar to that, where it's like, I mean, there's other characters, but it's primarily these two characters that are warring with their ideologies.
The character persona page is like 5 people, so
yeah,
it's very small.
He mentioned the character that Michael Caine played in the original. Again, I forgot the character's name. I'd have to look it up later. But he mentioned to me that he played the character in a play before he even like he did theater, playing the character from Sleuth. And I mentioned, hey, there's a modern version where it's a role reversal. Michael Caine is now the older guy, and Jude Law is the younger. And he's like, oh, I'll have to check that out. So he didn't know about the modern version of the movie. So I'm like, yeah, go ahead and check. But
I felt so bad that I forced him to talk to me for 40 minutes. Like it was just me and him, one-on-one, like 40 minutes. I felt so bad that I took up so much of his time, but he was very gracious about it. So
no, he's the dude was there for the fans. But yeah, like I got him, even though he barely uses, I got him to follow me on Twitter. Because I was hoping to contact him, like I said, about Berserk, but he hasn't gotten back to me yet. So maybe next con.
yeah, you should just bring a copy with you to next con.
That's what I was thinking of. I just get another copy of Volume 1. I'll like buy 2 copies, and if you happen to be there, I'll just pass you.
You see, I'm often a lot busier now.
But yeah, any final thoughts? I like Special Battle.
Nope.
That's what I was so sorry. I was just reading.
I think the Lusankia finally getting an ending was interesting.
Oh yeah, that was interesting. I can't wait till my buddy Alice gets to that point in the book when he finds out that ship we follow most of the thing finally gets destroyed. And believe it or not, the first thing I thought of, like, you know what, this is despite it being used by like her enemies, this is something Isard I think would be proud of. Like the way seeing Lusankia go down, she's like, yeah, I can imagine that. Any other final thoughts? Walrus?
No.
Nope.
All right, well, thank you again for your time, gentlemen. Thank you for joining me. Please subscribe and follow Walrus Jedi and MagnenoAlex. Great content creators that focus on reading and Star Wars and just cool stuff in general. So,
Thank you.
all
Thank
right.
you for having me.
Yeah, I'm hoping to have you again when we talk about Trader, and I know Alex is like tapping his feet right now.
It is my
Like an
favorite book
intense-
in Star Wars. Yes.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get that's I'm looking forward to it. But I'm actually kind of looking forward to it because of the way you described it, because it sounds like one of those like slower, quieter books that's like more psychological than battle.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's a little pretentious, but like I think most of the EU is fun tie-in fiction. I think Traitor is one of the few books in the EU that's actually like literature, like actually like transcends being a tie-in fiction. So yeah, I
Well,
hope-
I'm expecting to get some sort of like deep philosophical thing of why you should do this, because if you don't, horrible
everything
things
I
will
tell
happen.
you is a lie, and you will find no truth in me.
Yeah, that's what Stover wrote in my book. I'm hoping if I ever meet him again, okay, you need to write this because it's from your book, and please quote this. There'll be like something like that I'll start quoting from now on. That'll be like, oh, deeply philosophical. Yes.
And he made Vajir be like one of my favorite female characters in all of Star Wars. So she's like pretty up there with Kreia, which I also would love a AI debate between Kreia and
That would be funny because I think I wonder if my buddy Iron can make that happen. But because he did a very you know who Iron Inquisitor is, right?
yes.
He did a very god awful AI Kreia. I'm not going to describe it here because it's something you need to hear and see for yourself because it's hilarious. It's messed up, but it's hilarious. Anyway, so yeah, like sorry, I lose my train of thought half the time. But I think I cracked a joke on Twitter saying like, you know, it's ironic because I think both Kreia and Vergier's philosophies are cringe. But
Yeah. Well, they're also very different, so that's why it'd be interesting to see them talk.
well, Kreia hates the Force. Vergier's are all about crossing lines. But they have different reasons for why they cross their lines.
I think it's very, very nuanced, but you'll see when you read it. So
Yeah.
I have quite a complicated like opinion and view of Vergier itself. I feel like half the time I talk about it, people either exactly get it or they completely like fly over what I'm saying. So I have to be very careful when I talk about it because people seem to mistake my view on it all the time. So, but
Well,
it's
I don't
very-
jump to conclusions.
Yeah,
It's like you ever hear of you've probably heard Jeremy Yiannis.
what about him?
When he was discussing like the third Mass Effect's ending, he was talking about how some people thought it was hoped or thought it was a dream.
Oh, right.
And he one of the things he brought up is like it's like a girl walking up to you and saying, "Well, if you're smoking, how do I know you're not cheating on me?" He's like, "I don't make leaps like that."
Yeah, Mass Effect. Another good thing we should talk about sometime.
Oh, absolutely. I didn't even, like I said, I didn't even realize how big of a fan you were. I'm like, next time I have a stream discussing it, I need to have you on.
Yeah, it was my basically all of my teenage years was like dedicated to those games. So
Excellent.
yeah.
I'm assuming you've already read the comics and novels for it too.
Yes. Well, I have a few more novels left, but yeah, the comics I read all of them. Yes.
At some point, I need to get around to. I've done the novels and the comics myself, except for Deception. I have not touched Deception. I'm saving my first time.
We skipped.
I know, but I'm gonna review it because, like I said, I gotta do more of my Mass Effect chronology series, and I am gonna include Deception. I actually already have a parody intro ready for that one.
I probably would have finished Mass Effect, gotten really far into Star Trek, like tie-in fiction.
Hey, Aaron.
But I got so into like I started reading like classics and contemporary fiction that it kind of just completely sidetracked me from a lot of my plans for this year and last year. So that's why I've stooped on that. So
All right. Well, I'm gonna close this off. Thank you all guys for joining me. I'll
Thanks
see
for having
you
me.
when we check out Trader.
Yep.